You know, it's hard out there for a poet. You know, I think there was a saying one time, it's hard out there for a pimp, but especially when you're trying to do current events, it's tough. Here are current events that just happened. In the famous environs of New York City, a trial took place per the public's entreaty, meaning the public wanted it. A law and order denier and an election contriver, Donald J. Trump thought he'd get by sneaky. But the anger-prone Trump, complaining of cold, in a solemn courtroom could not act bold. As the jerk tried to muster a ridiculous bluster, Judge Merchant just stopped him with a firm scold. A model witness, the aptly named Pecker, lulled the defendant to be like a spectator. And the lovely, tearful Hope Hicks furthered the case with evidence bricks. Let's hope she helped derail the dictator. Stormy Daniels wore a bulletproof vest, and she testified her very best. Why she need such protection? Well, that's the MAGA depredation. She's taking risks at our country's behest. And there was evidence from Michael Cohen, of course not the most ethical of men, but fact-checked, he spoke truth. The defendant smirked, looking uncouth. Maybe he scored an 8 out of 10. I mean Cohen. The defense was tepid, and the prosecutors were of the facts robust contributors. While Trump sat on his ass, the competent Steinglass won the approval of the righteous jurors. It was said to be a novel legal theory. How else to catch a criminal most sneaky? Proud Trump they did snag. Modestly, none did brag. Of more than one felony, Trump was guilty. All hail District Attorney Bragg, an airtight case with nary a snag. Verdicts adding up to 34. Hopefully jail time's in store. And Judge Merchan really honored the flag. Instead of that Supreme Court justice that had it at upside down. That's what it was. Upside down. That's what he did. Yeah. 12 upright citizens, honest and true, integrity in them our system did imbue. After 6 weeks of drama, despite Trump's foul aroma, a fresh breath of justice, our way they blew. Mm-hmm. All hail the Donald J. Trump jury, for once they injected the system with glory. Guilty he is of 34 crimes. Guilty was read out 34 times. Yeah. Now can we write the rest of the story? Donald J. Trump just got judged guilty, and he ranted about it stupidly. Said a lot of bullshit. Said the court was not legit. He needs to be jailed indubitably. I mean, certainly. He must be jailed. He must be jailed. I insist. Anyway, so Biden is kind of on a little bit of a roll here. So I've been critical of Biden lately. But he does need to be stronger. And so I have what you might call, I guess, some suggestions. So in the past I've been a little bit harsh to him, you know. I mean, letting the Ukrainians just be on a branch that's being sawed off for 6 months and not doing anything, just hoping that Republicans will get on board. What? Okay, they finally did. Yeah, a bunch of Ukrainians have died in the meantime. Okay, but here we are on this day of June the 1st. It seems like the people truly have a thirst that their president just show the wisdom of his age, and showing new strength, just take over the stage. Don't hesitate to call Trump a criminal felon and hammer him for it. Be tough, Mr. Biden. Thus you can perhaps seize the rhetorical high ground. as Trump with his criminal status is moribund. For the Israel situation you have with Netanyahu, it seems the last few days you've had a chance to do at least a ceasefire and a reduction of the chaos, or attempt one, reduction of the chaos. Let me humbly suggest it would be a plus. In addition to pulling back on the military aid, belatedly reducing that war crimes cascade, you also did attempt to get the two-state solution at least on a table for potential resolution. I submit that one of the obstacles noxious is that of those Hamas terrorists obnoxious. Hiding in the tunnels, the Israelis like to claim they have no means of finding. To their shame, just make it a demand that the aid that we provide, they should no longer have a stupid free ride. That's the Israelis. To just bomb and destroy and adamantly refuse the most scientific and intelligent methods to use. Demand that they muon tomography implement, or precision seismic charging most diligent, listening devices, biochemical detection, new DARPA surveillance of great discretion. Just please use the contacts if necessary, CIA to intelligence or military to military. The bombing they are doing, so indiscriminate, is deadly and cruel, and also inefficient. Just have someone contact me or another scientist. I'm sure our government must have a damn list. Some of you may know I did a poem months ago about using muon tomography to locate the tunnels. It is a perfectly, been done for 7 or 8 years. They detected the chamber in Gaza, in the Giza pyramid, sorry. And so they could detect tunnels under Gaza. Giza and Gaza, they can do both. Anyway, they don't want to. They're just, I guess, to those who blame you, Mr. Biden, for the Gaza fiasco, these are a few of my favorite ways to go. And do not be afraid to take on inflation. Remember to explain that for the good of the nation, both parties in the Congress raised the money supply with infusions of relief that businesses wouldn't die. Trump signed one of those bills. So if there is blame, a good part of it ought to stick to his name. And you can, to this issue, take to the offensive with a bold argument to which the public should be receptive. And after all, it was once a Republican proposal, but I think you can put it up for perusal. Inflation to the people, first you should explain. It's the business of the Fed, and they think its bane, meaning to make inflation stop, is the raising of interest rates, sometimes to extreme, because they'll claim a victory for their team, because that's their job, and they have got it down, inflation to 3%, low enough not to frown. However, it's not enough, and we need to induce a reduction in interest rates that they won't produce until the inflation rate's lower, 2% or so. But that it now refuses to get down quite that low. I know it sounds like Dr. Seuss, doesn't it? You gotta be simple to explain it to these childlike people. I don't know, they don't get it. Right? Anyway, the Fed is responsible for inflation. Biden has nothing to do with it unless he wants to grab the Fed chairman by the lapels, like Tom Hartman says LBJ would do, and just make him lower the interest rates. Anyway, don't get me started. All right, so the interest rates are 3%. The inflation rate is 3%, so the interest rates are about 5%. See, I can get screwed up, but don't pay attention. But so mortgage rates stay high, renters get upset. Home buyers, loan seekers, they just cannot get any satisfaction, and they blame the president. They are turning to Trump. It is up to you to remove the confusion. Obviously, Trump is partly responsible, and his demagoguery is reprehensible. However, he has no plan except to lie. You'll have a plan. Explain how and why. First, price gouging. You'll implement AI, powerful algorithms to mathematically describe into the financials of every suspect company, and add persuasions to bring them in harmony. Their prices in tune to what makes a fair economy. The ones that are outliers, the worst in this dichotomy, won't be forced out of business. They could get a carrot. But if nothing subtle works, there's the threat of a mallet. That the government offer a similar product at cost. And again, that I left on a line. But anyway, a little more harsher step-by-step kind of nudge to get the prices in line from merchant ships to fudge. Use AI to make the greatest efficiencies. Oh, those corporations, they'll get the will to please. This is not anything but efficient capitalism, a better alternative than totalitarianism. Now, as to the Russian attempt to conquer Ukraine, I think inaction on their frozen assets is just insane. Just because you were bailed out by Hat Cream Jeffries and MAGA Mike succumbed to the $60 billion, geez, that $300 billion don't leave under the table. That's the Russian frozen assets, $300 billion. To reconstruct Ukraine, we wouldn't be able if we didn't use that money. Just a smart thing. You'll need it in second term. RFK's no damn help, not with that stupid worm. Thank you for finally letting Zelensky fire in to Russian territory. How else can you win? And what the hell is it with those F-16s? Get them there. Our allies can't live on dreams. Like in the song, these are a few of my favorite things. In the interest that a better environment that brings. A better situation to save democracy. That's all I'm hoping to help with, you see. Logic, science, wisdom, and a dash of poetry. Well, I hope it's not too late for you to listen to me. I want, Mr. Biden, you to be successful. Defeat the MAGA goons and make America beautiful.